Hello, welcome to another episode of your favorite daily podcast. A couple of things, a podcast about things. And today I'm going to be talking about how AI is going to change everything. Maybe, probably, but we don't really know. So this is based off of an article that I co-wrote with my husband. Yay! And it's titled AI Will Change Everything or Not. During the 2008 financial crisis, at the height of it, the former chairman of the Feds, Paul Volcker, said, and I quote, "The ATM is the only useful innovation in banking in the last 20 years. It is omnipresent and underappreciated and allows customers to retrieve cash from street-side dispensers at any time during the day or night." End quote. AI and different forms of ML, machine learning, have existed in the closed spaces of military, government, and academia since the early 1970s. However, at the turn of the 21st century, AI started to enter the mainstream of our homes and commercial spaces. And there was the Roomba in the early 2000s, autonomous vehicles, voice assistants in the early 2010s, and most recently, ChatGPT, and which is shorthand for every kind of generative AI tool that you can think of. And with every wave of AI advancement in the mainstream, people talk about how AI will free us from burdensome repetitive tasks and enable us to do more things. And the introduction of new technology and tools have always changed how we work, often in ways that very few people can accurately predict. In a previous episode of the podcast, I talked about how phone operators basically became wiped out as an occupation when automatic switching was invented and introduced and made mainstream. And similarly, while ATMs reduced the number of bank tellers needed in a branch, it allowed banks to expand their branch networks and reach, effectively leading to increased demand for tellers and creating new opportunities for expansion, new jobs, and cheaper branches. The introduction of VisiCalc and then later Excel eliminated the traditional roles of accountants, but birthed the modern finance department. And so, with how ATMs in the 1960s revolutionized banking, AI will supposedly do the same and automate repetitive elements within jobs. And AI will not replace us, according to the experts, some of the experts, but make our work less burdensome or easier. And a few people go ahead to say that, yes, jobs may be lost or will be lost, but there'll be other things for us to do and new jobs will be created. We'll be able to do these things that these AI powered tools supposedly can't do, such as creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. And things that used to take us days, minutes, take days, months, whatever, can be done now in minutes or even seconds. When telephones became popular, phone connectors and operators as a career choice almost all but disappeared, basically. But other things came up: phone repairers, installers, other kinds of things, and that created like a whole new world of opportunities. Amazon hasn't killed bookstores yet, although everyone has been saying Amazon will kill bookstores pretty much since it came around, and the publishing industry continues to go on. So obviously AI could be valuable in, and has already been valuable in, some spaces, and it could help with previously impossible or difficult research by making new links and connections. But what happens when those links and connections are tenuous, wrong, and just don't make any sense? So I'm pretty sure at some point you have tried at least one generative AI tool, whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, DALL-E, image generation, text generation, whatever. And I'm pretty certain that there's always been at least one mistake. I remember my friend had some assessment thing and there were some math puzzles in it. So we did the math puzzles and then decided to ask ChatGPT to see what he would tell me. And it was telling me absolutely rubbish. She was making up numbers. It was just doing all kinds of nonsense. So yeah, so much for AI going to take over my job. AI maybe it will, but I don't think anytime soon. But I'm going far ahead of myself here. Before we go on, subscribe if you haven't. Okay, let's continue. There was also the time where AI was flagging the ruler in scans as the cancer instead of the actual tumor, which not ideal. Then also the time where some airlines AI customer service tool gave a customer wrong information and it cost them a lot of money. But anyway, some 10 years ago, many people believed that low skill, quote unquote, low skill, low wage jobs were most at risk of being automated away. But now the concern of automation impacting blue collar jobs has fallen behind fears of mass job losses within white collar knowledge jobs. In the short term, we're already seeing lots of knee jerk AI replacements being promoted ahead of their time, some with immediate disastrous results, like the customer service AI tool that I talked about. It's hard to say what exactly will happen, and AI could potentially create new jobs, but also could disappear jobs. And also, this supposed AI future is quite expensive. We had the recent hardware AI tools, Humane, Frame, Rabbit, Meta Ray-Ban glasses. Some of them have flopped terribly, and they're quite expensive to develop, to own. And even the OpenAI and Google I/O demos that happened just last week, very interesting, showing us a possibility, which is what these things are, possibilities. They're not that good yet for the most part. And the future that our current tech overlords want to build, basically. But that future seems quite expensive. Sam Altman says that he needs $7 trillion to do his great AI magic. And you see people are raising millions of dollars and creating incredibly expensive tools. And if the humans responsible for ushering in this future, despite all the billions that they're spending, are unable to do so or believe they need more money, it raises questions about when or if we'll actually achieve AGI that is supposed to disrupt all the jobs and everything we know about what makes us human. Of which, as an aside, my hot take based on nothing but vibes is that we're probably never going to get actual AGI. What we'll get is the appearance of AGI. But what does all of this mean for us, for you, for me, the average person? Because, like I have hopefully established, nobody can actually say for sure what will happen in the long term with AI advancement. The only thing we can do is continue to learn and continue to adapt. Learn what we can, do what we can, try out new things. These AI-driven changes may go the way of previous technological advancements like the ATM, automated phone switching, the internet, that opened up new opportunities and created new possibilities while displacing others. Or it could go the other way and we end up in a dystopia where we have no jobs and robots and AI do everything, and all our lives, actions, and thoughts are shaped by a small ruling class who have an appearance of control over AI. The point is, we don't know. AI could create new challenges that require us to keep doing new things and innovating new ways of working. And for example, the overflow of AI generated content, mass produced, singular conforming products could drive desire and interest in handcrafted, individually created items. Nobody knows the second, third, or even fourth order effects, and everyone is making projections and assumptions based on their interpretation of trends and what they've seen in the past. But as Morgan Housel says, there's always a failure of imagination. Though history is a good teacher, the past cannot always predict the future. AI access could improve your productivity, advance your skills, advance your output, or it could be an absolute time waster like I experienced today. But it probably will not kill your job, but it could probably kill the company you work for or the products you're currently working on. So in conclusion, will AI significantly change everything everywhere all at once? Probably not. Will AI be part of everything everywhere eventually? Most likely. Thank you for listening to today's episode of A Couple of Things. If there was anything you found interesting or insightful, or you enjoyed the episode, please do share to someone or multiple people. Like, leave a comment, and definitely do subscribe and all the nice things. Bye. Here is your regular reminder that I am accepting questions and topic suggestions Also, you can now nominate yourself or someone else to be featured on the podcast to talk about anything that you find interesting. And you can do all of this, whether submitting a question or nominating yourself or someone, through the link in the show notes.